Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Master Your Marketing Masterclass. And today in my hot seat, I have Marta Costa from Texas, and she is a business consultant, and she's going to share her wealth of information around webinars. So if you've been looking to add this into your business or want to improve your method to this business already, she's the girl we're going to talk to today. So get out your pen and paper and take good notes. How are you, Marta?
Doing great.
Awesome. So excited to have her. She must have thought of me and tapped into my energy because she's doing the interview in a nautical kind of flair behind her. And those that know me, I'm a true Pisces, so I have like fish and mermaid stuff and nautical. Yeah. So I'm right at home talking to Marta today. It's all about me.
It's your party.
That's right. It's all good. It's my girlfriend party. It's a slumber party, guys. It's just talking about marketing. Good stuff. So Marta, please share some yummy, juicy stuff about you, how you got into what you do, what led you through this journey. Kind of give us some background about yourself, please.
It's a funny story. It's not funny, haha. It's just, a weird story in that we were talking a few minutes ago about being in the corporate world, and my husband and I, sorry, let me shut that off. My husband and I used to own insurance agencies here in North Texas. And, we had several locations. It was very, very corporate.
Yeah.
And that's always pretty much been my background. And about 10 years ago now, we sold our agencies. We sold our agencies to a company out of Louisiana who was looking to expand into Texas. And, it was a great opportunity for my husband because they wanted to keep expanding. They wanted to keep him on and just keep growing. But for me, I used to do all of the operations in the business. They had an operations center in Louisiana, so they didn't need me anymore. And so we sold the agencies, and we decided I was going to be a stay-at-home mom, which is what I'd always thought I wanted to be.
Thought.
So it was, yes, exactly, thought. It was a dream come true for both of us. He gets to go build this giant empire, and I get to stay home with the kids and do the stay-at-home mom thing. And at that point, I'd already been working from home. When it's your business, you can do whatever you want. So I was already at home with the kids, but then, I could just focus totally on them. And so I did that for about a year. And I joined every play group in the area, every mom's group, every Yahoo group about parenting and homeschooling and housekeeping and all of that stuff. And I always cringe when I say this, but after about a year or so, a year and a half maybe into it, I felt like my brain was melting, literally, because it was, PBS and
yeah, Teletubbies and
exactly.
Dora the Explorer.
And so I started looking for work at home jobs. That was my solution. Was like, okay, I'll find something that I could still do from home. And back then the only work at home opportunities were like stuffing envelopes or
oh my God, I'm reliving this with you.
Yes, marketing. Like cold calls, doing cold calling for people, sales, telemarketing calls, right? Those were the only two options that I could find anyways. And neither of those appealed to me. And then I found this article in, I can't remember what magazine it was, but it was like one of those women's magazines. And it was about I remember the title of it, but basically it was about 4 work at home jobs that aren't a scam. And I thought, I'll check that out. And one of them was being a virtual assistant. So I thought I'll give that a try, and that's how I got started in this business. I decided to become a virtual assistant and start a VA business. And originally, you start with the skills you have, which at the time were like Microsoft Word and Excel and QuickBooks. And very quickly I learned, okay, I need to learn how to create my own website and get my own autoresponder going. And I started learning about marketing because I had no clue up to that point. My husband had handled the marketing for our brick and mortar business up to that point. I had no idea. So I started learning. And that's basically, from there, I became an online business manager. I became an online marketing manager. I just started kind of going.
Giving yourself a promotion.
Exactly. I was just learning new things. Just like, ooh, look at this. And oh, well, look at that. and that's basically how I got here, basically.
Can I ask when that was? Because I'm going down memory lane with you.
2007, 2008, okay. Really.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, probably the first year and a half to 2 years of my business, it was purely a hobby. Totally in the red, purely a hobby. It's like,
yeah.
I get to learn how to build a website, and
right.
buy ebooks and programs, and I was losing money big time. Whatever projects I did, the money went right back into learning something else. Oh, now I'm going to learn Aweber. Now I'm going to learn one shopping cart. Now I'm going to,
right.
and it was just for fun, really, more than anything, even though I called it a business. It was just something I squeezed in, in between naps and breastfeeding and changing diaper and all of that fun stuff.
How many kids do you have?
Okay. I have 5.
What?
Yeah.
I'm one of 5. People still have 5 kids? I'm just kidding.
My husband was one of 5. Yes. Crazy people still have 5 kids.
God bless you for doing a business and having 5. I have 1. Okay. And I can still identify with your stories though. Your brain there's a part of you as a woman that still needs to be growing.
Yes.
And have your voice and still feel like you're more than just diapers and dishes. Yep. It's just, and that, me too. I was a stay-at-home mom. I thought, I'll just do everything, unplug. And then there's a piece of me, you start to lose yourself.
Definitely. Especially if you're used to having worked before, I think, I don't know, but the opportunities weren't there for me earlier on when my older kids were younger. I had to go to work, they had to go to daycare. And, by the time kid number 3 came around, I was like, I'm not doing that again. And that's when I started working from home,
Yes.
And really that was the drive. It was like, okay, I need to find something that I can do from home. But it really just became my passion. I had just had my youngest son when the business started really getting going. And my husband would put like all the kids, take them all upstairs like at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And I would work from that point until whatever time the baby would wake up to be fed in the middle of the night and then come back downstairs. You're so juiced and so amped up when you're doing something that you're passionate about that it keeps you going even through sleep.
Yes. It's inspired action. Yes.
Yes. Totally.
Yeah. You forget to eat, go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You're in the zone. You're like, dang it, I gotta go. Fine. You're so afraid of losing that magic zone space when you're in it. Yeah, I can relate. You definitely took me down memory lane. I do remember the stuffing envelopes jobs out there and wanting to also work from home. Very similar story. And mine was a hobby too in the beginning stages because I was still married at the time. But I went to corporate and then went right back into business again. So it's all good stuff. It's all as it's meant to be. There's something about working from home. That was my why. I wanted to get back to that, but not lose who I am. I still want to have career and mommy. I get to still be a hands-on mom. Exactly. There's something about being able to throw a load of laundry in, answer emails. You just feel like you can juggle it all better than coming home to piles of laundry after a long work day and kids' lunches that need to be made for the next day and all the other stuff. If you can balance it.
But just being able to be there for them, if they're sick or if you have to go,
Yeah, you can adjust your schedule so much easier. Something comes up at school, you got to be there. Whatever shows up, on those sick days or those days they don't have school or whatever the case may be. It's just like doesn't mess my schedule up at all. It's just like in flow, and she gets to be a part of that. I spoke at a women's event on Tuesday and I just took her out of school. I'm like, you want to come with me? I think you should see stuff like this.
That's awesome. I used to have a client who she was hilarious. Her husband and her son, she had a nanny and she would pack them all up and she would go from event to event, until her son was old enough to start school. She would just bring the nanny with her and they'd be, in the hotel and doing their own thing in whatever town they were at. And I love that aspect of entrepreneurship of just being able to do it however the heck you want.
Yep. You create the rules and, they're going to learn so much just watching that guidance than probably what they would have learned in school that day anyway. But, I do just kind of I'll take her on business consultant coffees with me sometimes.
That's so cool.
Just to sit and kind of watch. She's 13 now. So she's been kind of seeing this since she was about 3 or 4. I was kind of doing some stuff from home here and there. Mommy's got on a call. Go watch Dora. Here's your little video and the snack. You're like, bribing them if they're really good.
Exactly. That's funny. My son, he's homesick again today. He's got terrible allergies. Terrible. I was telling him mommy's going to be on a call. It's a video call. You can't come sneaking into the office.
Yeah.
To ask stuff. He's like, okay, so let me ask you everything I would probably ask you during that time. I was like, okay. He's like, can I have popcorn? Yes.
Oh my God, he's related to my kid.
Can I have chips? Like, popcorn or chips, not
That's
what
right.
do I do if the dogs want to go out? You know, and it was so funny because he's
Aw,
already in his brain. He's
planning it out. What would I need to say? My
Yeah.
daughter does the same. My daughter's. And in this interview, we've seen cats, dogs, kids, so it's all good. That's what it's like. It's
I
our
love
real
that.
life. It's our real life. Yeah. Why hide it? Very cool. Well, let's dive in and pick Miss Marta's brain about webinars, because I've used them for years in the corporate business world, in my business now. I mean, really, why do you think they convert? Why would someone that, especially those that haven't used them, why would you suggest that this be a good part to their business?
You know, it's interesting because we're seeing in general, I mean, not across the board, but in general, we're seeing a lot of webinar signups actually go down.
Yeah, I agree.
But when you think about it, they still convert at the same conversion rates or better, because the people who are showing up, they've committed to you. They're giving you an hour plus of their time. And that is huge. You know, we're at a stage where you can hardly get people to open your emails or
Right.
respond to them or click
Yep.
through. You know, a very small percentage of people do. So when someone says they're going to give you an hour of their time, that's huge. That's something
Right.
to be appreciated. And the people that do show up and stay on and pay attention, they're true fans. You know, they really want to know what it is that you're sharing, and they're far more likely to say yes to the next step if you give them the opportunity.
Absolutely. You're right. It's not so much quantity, it's quality, because if you think about it, I have a client that just kills it in this department. I mean, her list converts, and she'll do 3 webinars just to fill a group program, 3 different topics. And she gets so much traction, and her webinars are sometimes 90 minutes, and they will stay on to ask those questions at the end. They're committed. They're all in. And she's a parent coach, and that's what she talks about is, your relationship with your child in regards to like sex, healthy boundaries, making sure that, they're all safe about that. It's a tough conversation to have with your children. It's a unique business. She does really well with it, but she just gets such great conversions. And those parents are there. They're present. They're ready to,
I was going to say, with a topic like that, I mean, that's something, if someone's looking for that information, you're going to show up and you're going to do whatever you need to do to get.
Especially if you just read your kid's diary and they're sexting, God help us, So they work.
They actually read their text messages.
Right. Exactly. So she gets, that's her lead source. She does other, in business workshops as well, but webinars work great for her. Calendar's full with strategy sessions, always. She has plenty of calls, plenty of leads to work with over and over and over again. So it works, guys. For those of you that are, like Marta said, we are seeing conversions because there's a lot of noise out there.
Mm-hmm.
I personally feel that just putting a stamp on social media, come see my webinar, isn't enough, guys. They're like,
no, you have to have the right topic, like your client.
Yes.
You have to have a juicy topic that people are yearning for. They need that information. You definitely have to have a good topic, and you have to give good information. And that, to me, it almost like it shows, in the marketing that you do and the advertising that you do. People can tell. They can tell, is this going to be some fluffy thing with a sales end, or is this real information that I can use and learn from this person?
Right. That's the big thing. You're so true. Because it's a lot out there. People think you're just gonna sell me. We've trained the sheep out there enough. We're trying to herd cats when we're trying to, sell things. Obviously, it feels like that some days, but we've trained them that there's going to be an offer at the end. How about just focusing on the quality content that you're going to deliver? Because I know there's a dance between giving too much. We feel like sometimes I don't know if you do. In some of my webinars, I feel like I'm giving them like as much as I would in a VIP day sometimes.
Right.
And you're like, this is just for signups, this is just for free. How can I justify giving this much stuff? But I think it's necessary.
You have to, because consumers are becoming so much more discerning. to the, point where even the emails that you'll open, it's
Yes.
insane. We're becoming so discerning. There's so much noise, as you said. There's so much coming at you constantly, that you have to draw the line and say, okay, I only have so many hours in the day. What do I need right now? And so as a person hosting a webinar, you have to give it. You have to give it your all, almost, because that's the only way that they'll dial in and stay tuned and take the next steps with you.
Yep. If they walk away with really good value, there's a very good chance they're going to connect and commit. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Very true. That I like that you said that our followers, our subscribers are getting more discerning. It's kind of like bacteria gets smarter.
Yes.
The more antibacterial we use, the more we not to call you guys that, because we love you. But it's true. You can't use what worked last year doesn't work this year. I mean, it's that much. Have you noticed how much you just
even in a few months things change?
Absolutely. With every new launch, we got to tweak it up. What's being used, what's different. Yeah, I've really noticed that, especially doing this series too. It's so much fun just to see again what everybody else is doing, what's different, and kind of comparing notes. So awesome. So what do you think, what kind of formats do you use for software? Because in fact, let's not jump there yet. Let's start with what should be in a webinar other than value. Do you have a template or anything that you kind of use? Like, you don't have to go detail to detail, but what should it, like length of time, kind of give our viewers where to start, especially if they've never done one before.
It's funny because I always aim for like 30 to 45 minutes, and I always end up going way past that.
I know. It's a good place to start.
Hour and 15, even like when I've got it scripted, even when because you get so passionate and you just start adding more and more in as you're talking and thinking of new things or whatever, and it always ends up going longer. But I think 45 minutes to an hour is really good. I think more than that, or well, I won't say that. If it's good, compelling content, people will stay on longer, as you know, as you've said with the client. But asking that of them before they really know you, I guess it depends, cold audience versus warm audience. If they don't know you, asking someone for 90 minutes is a lot. That's a big commitment. Even 60 minutes is a big commitment. So that's why I try to usually aim for the 30 to 45 minute mark, and then a little over from there. But it's really in terms of, I actually treat my webinars, and my clients do the same, as if they were leading a course, they're teaching, and then if people, want to stick around at some point, you share what the next step is, what the next program or whatever it is that you want to offer. Maybe it's a strategy session, maybe it's a program you're selling, whatever it is, and then do a little bit more teaching and some Q&A at the end if you've got time for it.
Right.
But really it's about treating it like it's an actual course, and you're giving a ton of value and information. How
important is it to share, your background story in the beginning stages, or to warm up the audience?
Not so much, really. I find like people don't care that much.
They're like, we don't need to know what you've done since kindergarten. Good Lord.
Right. Giving them a little snippet of who you are and how you got to be where you are. Okay. Especially again with the cold audiences who maybe don't know you, don't know your story, but hopefully you've shared once they've signed up with your, welcome sequence or follow-up sequence, you've shared some good information about yourself, and they've gotten to know you a little bit. So within the webinar itself, I don't feel like you have to rehash all of that, or
5 slides with just your bio.
No, I keep that part short.
I think it's fun to share a little snippet that people wouldn't normally find on social media, or like just you sharing your 5 kids, like a little bit, we got an even bigger, deeper view of you just in that short, quick little, and you wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Just those little bits. Now you make you that girl next door. I can be your friend. It's personal now. I can relate to you. But if we put too much of a brick wall up, then people can't come in. They want to relate to you, I think. They want to have something in common. Yeah.
A lot of that I'll put in the email sequence that they get, and I'll share little things like within the content itself,
Right. Stories definitely sell.
Yeah.
On my signature talks, I talk a lot about stories. I have tools and things I share as well, of course, but they seem to remember the tool better when there's a story attached to it. Like, what's the next step? Oh yeah, this is when Carrie shares a story about how she jumped off a mountain, like that kind of stuff. They have some kind of association.
Connection. You want to connect with them.
Yep.
for sure.
Absolutely.
And that I don't think can be formalized or templated or, but just kind of
Right.
sharing yourself, your personality as you
Yep.
go,
Yep. Because
not being a robot.
exactly. Yeah. No one wants that automated helper. They want to connect with you, human to human. Yeah. Show your humanness. That's a new word. We're going to make it a word. Humanness. They made selfie a word. We can make humanness a word, right?
Absolutely.
It's a new marketing strategy. I love it. I love it. So about 35, 45, I think that's about right. Because some people do jump on your webinar at their lunch hour too, or their break at work. So you got to kind of be mindful of that and respectful of that time too. Because if your offer's at the end, they're going to miss it.
Yeah.
Half your audience is logged off and you're still getting to the offer part or how they can at least connect with you for future stuff. So
for me, I'm just super appreciative of the fact that they've signed up and they're showing up and they're giving you an hour or 30 minutes, whatever it is, that you just want to give as much as you can within that time. And it's not, one of my clients calls it the me monster. It's not all about me and my story. And, it's about connecting with them and just giving them whatever it is that they came to get.
I like that, the me monster. It's just like your website and your marketing. If you say I all the time, it's like a turn off.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be you, And here I have a book called Permission to Be Me, but it's really, I'm giving you permission to be you. Because when you read the title, you're saying me. So that's the whole mindset behind that. Very cool. So PowerPoint slides, is that kind of your format?
I like to do a combo of the slides and on camera, which, when we ask about technology, there's so many different ways that you can do that now. It's not like, say 3-4 years ago. You have
a lot has changed.
And I like to do a mixture of both so they can see your face, they can see your smile, they can connect with you that way. And, there's slides. Some people need the slides. Some people need the visual to be able to stay connected.
I was on a webinar that was just her talking on the video the whole time. Yeah. I'm like, this isn't really a webinar. In my mind, I'm like, where's the slides at? I'm a visual learner. I need pictures to stamp home the information. And everyone's going to be different, obviously. Some are audio, some are kinesthetic, but I need that visual aid to go, oh yeah, the picture of the cherry means this, or whatever you see on the slide. It kind of stamps in memory. I'm photographic memory. So
I need to take notes. Like that's my thing. I've got to write stuff down. Everybody's different. So, to me, the mixture of the slides and being on camera is as close as you can get to covering all of the bases in a webinar anyways.
I love that option. I think it's not just what you say, but how you say it. And I think that facial expression, it just brings, again, that human side to the webinar.
Yeah.
Versus just this voice and slides going by. It's colder.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I don't think I've done a webinar without the video in the corner in years, but that's just my thing. And I'll zoom in and introduce myself and then zoom out and then zoom in and just kind of, again, connect as much as I can.
And that keeps people engaged too, right? Just the act of, just doing something different,
right.
On camera, going back to the slide, that just keeps people engaged. I'm one of those people that watching videos is extremely difficult to just sit there and do that. I could, if I'm writing notes, okay, that's another thing. But like, especially if I'm on my computer, then I've got another browser open and I'm on Facebook and I'm only halfway listening at that point, and it's just really hard. But if you're doing things dynamically within the webinar itself, you're asking people questions, you're reading their comments, you're calling them by name, you're showing your face, and you're going back to the slides, that's a lot more engaging, a lot more entertaining, and it's easier for someone to stay focused.
You are so dead on that. Oh my goodness, spot on. Okay, so that's huge. I kind of forgot that piece. It's same as a workshop. If you know that teacher's going to call on you, you're like this.
Yes.
You're paying attention. Oh, she knows my name and she's going to want me to tell my story in a minute. I can feel it, but same with a webinar. I will too. I'm opening my emails. I'm checking other things. I'm doing some kind of back-end technical stuff over here.
Yeah.
And you're half listening.
Yeah.
So you're not really fully engaged.
Yeah, and you maybe miss something, or you're just not that, or, you get up and walk away and forget that it's going.
Yep. And you could have missed a really good part. I love that part because there's so many website softwares out there that you can ask a poll, do the poll questions, or take a vote or anything that can
Yeah.
get people, because people like to be able to have a voice too.
Yeah.
They do
And
love
they
that
love
part.
it, even though they don't recognize it. They love to hear their name, So
Mhm.
you're reading their comment and they're saying, oh, Carrie says, like that's.
It's our
I know.
5-year-old self.
Exactly.
I got a shout out. Hey, and Facebook Live, half the time we jump on is because we want to say hi,
Yes.
So, and then when they, oh, hey, and you do, you're just like, you're a celebrity, like you're at a sports event and you just got put on the screen or something, the big screen.
It's so funny, but when people first started doing those, I would get annoyed when they would stop their content to do that and just be like, oh, hi. And I would just be like,
get to the point.
Go with your content,
I know. We do that on Facebook Live. A lot of people.
Yes.
They get distracted and you're like, okay, I'm watching you say hi for 20 minutes. This is getting old. Yeah. Make it part of the conversation, make it interactive by all means. And you will keep them all the way to the end. And I think that's with my client. I've watched her webinars enough to know what she's doing. And she's definitely taking polls and like, how many parents have this challenge? Raise your hand kind of thing. And then she'll have questions and then she saves them to the end. So they're typing their questions as they go, and they're going to stay if they know you're going to call out their question at the end.
Absolutely. And you know what? It keeps things from getting stale, especially if you're doing the same topic. It's doing something like a poll where you're actually asking people questions and you can gauge and see, okay, maybe this part isn't so hot. I'll skip that and do more on this point down the road, and it keeps things fresh. It keeps you in it and more engaged also.
Yes. You're checking the temperature of your audience. Yeah. Absolutely. It's huge. So let's play with software for a minute here, because I go back to GoToMeeting. It was the first platform I ever played with. And there's been lots of changes since then.
Yeah. I was going to say, it used to be that your only options were, GoToWebinar. And then, Instant Teleseminar did their webinar thing where you could upload slides, but you couldn't
see them because they're this big.
Yes. You couldn't share your screen and you couldn't be on camera. And it was just very
limiting.
That was like the poor man's, if you couldn't afford GoToWebinar, you had to do Instant Teleseminar.
It's limiting. I hated Instant Teleseminar.
Or Maestro was a nightmare.
Oh, I didn't play there.
Lots of stories. But now, it really depends on what you want to do. But I love Zoom. I still love GoToWebinar. But Zoom is really cool. I love that with Zoom, you can broadcast to Facebook Live at the same time.
Yeah.
And kind of have the two audiences going at once. That's super fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people doing their webinars on Facebook Live using some of the other tools out there.
That's what I'm having my clients do too.
Yeah. I love that, because then you seem to get more interaction.
Yes.
On Facebook Live anyways. It's just a different, you feel people's energy be different.
Yep. Well, you're getting people that live on Facebook.
Yes.
Not everybody's in their inbox all day or even saw the reminder for your webinar, but they noticed the notification.
Exactly.
So you gotta get people where they play.
And Facebook kind of, you have it with you everywhere, all of a sudden.
I know. It's an app.
Oh, there's that webinar thing I thought I was going to go to, There it is. I'm going to watch her on Facebook because I'm not,
And they can do that. They can sneak that in if they're in a corporate environment. I'm just thinking of my fellow peeps that are still trying to break out. You can sneak it in. It's easier. So Zoom does have a webinar feature. I've been using that one for the past couple of years now myself. Any other softwares that you've tried or at least have heard good things about?
Webinar Jam. I think I've tried them all. Although there's new stuff coming out all of the time. I'm always amazed.
Yes.
But yeah, Zoom, GoToWebinar, Webinar Jam is good. Facebook Live, as we said, is great. There's tools out there that'll let you share your screen and share slides within Facebook Live. ClickFunnels isn't a webinar platform, but I love it in that you can host your webinars there. And I love the whole webinar funnel that they've got going that you can use. You can upload any video from anywhere. You can record something on your own, screencasting on your computer, and then upload it, and boom, have an automated webinar sequence.
I have some clients that use ClickFunnels, but I didn't know that part about that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So Webinar Jam, ClickFunnels, Zoom, GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar. I don't think there's any other ones that I've known of. EverWebinar or Ever something. Yeah, I think that was the other one that I have a client that has.
Webinar Jam.
And they do. And we're not here to bash anybody. They have every right to upgrade and change things. And, just because if I used it a year ago, it might be different today. It is what it is, by all means.
YouTube Live. I've seen people use YouTube Live.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of platforms that you can use. The key is to just find something that you're comfortable with that's not too intimidating, that,
right.
got the bells and whistles you want, or if you want something simple, then keep it simple. It's whatever you're more comfortable with. You can always start with something very basic and work your way on up as you get more comfortable.
Right. Yeah. Don't get intimidated with the super bells and whistles, because there's a lot of robust softwares out there that will scare the living crap out of you. And you're like, yeah, I'm good. This is too hard.
Yes.
I'll just keep doing Facebook Lives. I can't do this. I know how to push that button.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about a term that other people are using out there and kind of get your feedback on the word evergreen. What the heck does that mean for our audience?
Evergreen.
And should they do their webinars that way versus the live way? So kind of give me your feedback on that.
So for me, evergreen, depending on when we're talking about webinars,
we're not talking about Christmas trees or something like that, or candles. I don't know.
Yeah, no, for webinars, it's just basically, or I'll call them the automated webinars. They're not live ones where you keep a recording and you, like I mentioned earlier, stick it in a funnel and click funnels, and then just have people signing up for that same webinar over and over, and you don't have to show up live and do it fresh every single time. I mean, there's a lot to be said for the evergreen webinar. I usually tell my clients not to do one until they've mastered the live one, that they can convert well and they know that they've got a webinar that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people will do the opposite. They'll start with the evergreen,
yes,
record it, by themselves, with no audience interaction. They haven't tested it. They haven't, and then they put a lot of money into Facebook ads and nothing happens and people don't show up. And, it's a lot of time and investment put into something that goes nowhere. That's super frustrating. That can be super frustrating. I always say to start with the live version first. Work with real people, real audiences, really hone your messaging, get your offer working, know what conversion rate you have. Because here's the crazy part. Like, I've seen people take a live webinar that converts really well, and they go and put it in an automated funnel, same exact recording, and the conversion drops off. People can sense, okay, this isn't live.
It's the energy. Absolutely. Yeah.
Even though it's the same darn thing that worked perfectly last week and got you so many thousands in sales, this week, not quite so much. And it seems to kind of dwindle from there. And it's a really weird phenomenon, but it does happen. So you have to really have your messaging down and know that you've conquered the live webinar arena before you make it an evergreen or automated tool.
I agree. I think it's a lot to do with the energy. I mean, it's very attractive to hear, I can be on the golf course while this is happening. Cool. Like this stuff does, work while you're sleeping kind of thing for you in the background. That's an attractive trait. And anyone can jump on whenever it's really kind of convenient for them. Let's be honest, they can pick a couple times and boom, they can just jump on. Exactly. They're probably the only one on there, but nobody knows. And because they're just on. And I've seen that same exact thing too, where I'll have them do 3 recordings and pick the best recording out of the 3 and use that one as their evergreen. And it's just different. It is an energy thing. I know people can feel us. You're more vibrant too when you're on live versus what you said before, just doing a video real quick all by yourself and then hoping to use that. The energy is just different. When you've got people that are in the audience, you're like top performance, peak performance.
Exactly.
Interactive. So
exactly. But not to discard it as a tool altogether, because I know that it can be a very effective tool. But again, once you've got it down, you know, and then it's just a matter of putting people into that sequence. The conversions are going to be lower, but if it's not your bread and butter, it's not like your main source of income, then that's okay.
Love that.
You're still serving more people.
Right. Again, it's running on autopilot. So, if it trickles like 5 leads towards you, it's worth it because you're off doing other parts of your business while this is running in the background.
And like you said, you're meeting them where they're at. They can, if they're sitting at work at their day job, they can pick a time that's more convenient. Or the really fun ones is the ones that start immediately as soon as you can pick one, at the top of the hour or in 10 minutes or
Yep.
whatever, and that's much more immediate than waiting till Thursday at
Right.
6 or 3 or whatever,
Right. And things show up, their schedule is different than they thought and they miss it
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah, you're right. It's meeting them where they're at. I like that too. Very nice. One thing too, I think education sells. I think webinars are a way it's like your mini infomercial without being too pitchy. People need to be educated why they need to buy from you.
Yes.
We're not just a billboard out here, especially in our industry, what we do. People need to kind of get behind the scenes. How do you teach? How do you coach? How do you educate your clients? And this gives them that front row seat to see how you are,
Exactly.
what you like to work with. So I believe it's so much better way to sell. I don't even like to use the word selling because I believe we kind of coach people into working with us. They coach them into coaching. And it's worked for years, guys. Years.
Yes.
I used it in the corporate world forever. I was doing multiple webinars a week. I was using it to just a good source to communicate too, like your group programs. It's just a great platform to have. So good stuff. So let's recap before Marta talks about the yummy offer she has for us. Webinars are education to convert to sales. You can 45 minutes. Try not to go past the hour if you can help it. Don't talk about yourself too much. You mentioned the me monster.
Exactly.
I love that. I'm going to write that down. No, it's not all about me. There's tons of software out there. You can use video plus PowerPoint, which is awesome. Let people see your face. Let them see your energy. I think that's huge. They just get so much out of you. I'm first time meeting Marta via video today. Pictures don't do it. I get to see her aura. I get to see her energy. I get to see the stuff that she, her own personal light that comes with her personality. And you wouldn't get that without video. So I say definitely use that. And then Evergreen's fun, and I like Marta's advice to truly do a couple live ones. Get some good live ones under your belt before you go that route. A lot of us like to go that route out of fear because it's like safer. I'm just gonna go hide and record a video.
Sure, yeah.
I'm just gonna hide in a corner and record a video and hope for the best. No, I've had clients like that. No, don't get out there. That's where you learn the most and you grow and expand. So good stuff. And yes, there's a software for everybody out there. Just find what works. Get lots of feedback maybe from other users. And, it's got to work best for you. So I think that kind of recaps all of the content we shared, which is awesome. I love this conversation. Love it.
Me too.
Love it. So Miss Marta, what do you have for us today?
I have my ebook. It's called The Feel Good Fortune Formula, and it's 3 steps to a chill and profitable business. And basically, it's about how to build a lifestyle business, what we call it in the coaching world, a lifestyle business that supports you rather than the other way around, I guess.
You had me at chill. Is that with a drink in my hand too, or
it can totally be for me?
This is good.
My toes in the sand.
Yes, that's where my head was too. Absolutely. I just happen to have an umbrella drink too, or somebody's really hot serving me one.
Yeah.
Love that. And it's true. We were talking about this a little bit before we hit record. We forget that we can really create the business around what we really want. We write the rules. To me,
like those are the most successful entrepreneurs. I mean, there are some people who make it on pure hustle, pure grind, but the people that I've worked with over the last, however, almost 10 years, the most successful ones have been the ones who have kind of found their way through to just having that lifestyle business, of having the combination, having the life that you want, and then building the business around it so that it's not just business all of the time, but you actually get to enjoy your success and hang on to and be true to your why as to why you started the business.
Oh, so good. So good. It's like that visual with the rocks in the sand in a jar. The rocks in the jar should really be your family, your health, things that matter, your core to, that your beliefs, maybe it's your spirituality, and the sand gets to be the career, and it's whatever fits into that jar after the rocks have been placed. Sometimes we do it the other way around, put the rock in and go, that's my career. That's everything to me. And the rest just has to squeeze in. And we forget.
Exactly. That's a great analogy. I love that.
Good reminder, even for me. Carrie, what part's doing? I love it. Like we're in that tail end of the year.
Yes.
So what do I want 2018 to look like? And it literally is to me, it's like a whiteboard. I like to just wipe everything out and let's just keep what we want. Give the rest to Goodwill. I'm just kidding.
That's what I do. That is honestly what I do. I have a couple family members, my husband and one of my daughters, who are borderline hoarders, I say, but it's not. They're not. It's just that I'm the other extreme.
Yeah.
I go around once a week with giant garbage bags and get rid of them.
Oh, I know. I'll drive for weeks with them in the back of my car, forgetting to drop them off. The beautiful part is you can treat your business like that too.
Exactly.
What didn't I love this year? Let's not offer that next year.
Yeah.
And next year gets to be different, and that's what I love about this type of business is I don't think I've ever taught the same program twice. I won't lie. I think I just have, ADD or something. I get bored quickly.
You just have to know yourself and do what you want to do. Yeah. And that's actually, it's funny that you bring that up because that's my focus right now is I'm creating a program, not so much a program, but a VIP day and a webinar and all of this fun stuff around planning for next year, starting right now because I've started doing it myself thinking, okay, what could I do differently? You know?
And we get to do that. No one's got a gun to your head saying, no, you must do this, this, and this. You've got to work hard and not sleep and miss going to the gym and all the things you enjoy doing. No, you get to wipe the slate clean, start over if you want.
Exactly. And you could try something new every time. That's the fun part.
It is fun. It is fun. Yeah, I've got lots of new stuff for the next year planned out and lots of things we're not repeating.
Yeah.
Lesson learned, done.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, because you're going to always evolve and grow in your business. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah, it gets to change. Well, thank you so much, Marta. Any final thoughts you want to give to our audience today?
No, I'm actually just what you said, we're always evolving. We're always reevaluating. That's the joy of being a business owner. And it can also be like the thing that ties you up, right? Because you just you can stay stuck spinning around in that, what do I want to do? What don't I want to do? But just pick one thing, do it, try it. And if you don't like it, try something else,
Yeah. Pick what resonates with your soul for sure. Don't forget to listen to that inside voice.
Always.
Inner voice. Yes. Good stuff. Your soul knows what it wants.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. And I appreciate you, Marta, for your time and wisdom. Much, much love and big hugs and big love to everyone. Bye, guys.
Bye.